Okay guys, so I know I've done this kind of video before, and I'll probably do it again in the future multiple times, and I'd just like to retouch on it to update it in case there's something new in it that I've just not realized I didn't put in another video, and to help some of you guys out. I know that you don't really want to weed through all the videos to find it, the same kind of video back in my old videos, and so we're just going to update it every now and then. So hopefully I'm going to answer a couple of questions through the, explaining what I have here on the bench, what do we use in spray paint art. Now, a reminder, I am here in the United States, so my selection of paint is different than what it might be in your country, so I can't help you with spray paint if you don't have my brands in the brands I use in your country, and I wouldn't know exactly maybe where you would get them in your country. I can give you some suggestions, and we're going to run through that during this process as well. So let's get to it. This is what I use. This is the bench. It's kind of a mess at the moment, and well, that's actually the way it always is, but we'll run through some of the things I have here, hopefully everything that I use here, guys. Okay, so let's get to extras of certain things over on the shelf over there. Okay, now what I use here is a folding table. It actually folds in half. It's just a plastic table that folds in half. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them at big box stores, and I'm pretty sure you can get them in just about every country. They come in a type of plastic. It folds, it has a handle, great for to go take places if you do things live or other places. Excuse me. You don't have to use that table. Use what table you want, but that's what I use. I do keep a piece of wood down on the table because of I'll just try to keep as much spray paint off the table as I can. It builds up, it starts to get real gunky and stuff, but it's just what I use. And then I have my rolly table here. Now, I was asked in a other video about this rolly table if you can buy these online. I haven't seen where you buy the actual square rolly table online, or what they would actually call them, but I did look. If you find them, please leave maybe that link in this video or something for other people to be a little helpful with that. But this one here I made is a piece of wood that I cut to the typical size paintings that I do, 11 by 14, and it's just a little bigger than that. And I took one of these little spinny tables. They're called a Lazy Susan, I do believe, and I guess you just put your serving plates on it and they spin. But mostly I know that you use them for like spices inside your cabinet, so you can get to your spices. And I just glued it to it with some really strong bonding super glue, and that's what I use for a turning table. I do use rulers just for certain crafting things. I have a piece of metal here. You can use card stock as well, and it's just for those blockings, so you can do your lines if you're going to do like water on one side for your moon blocking things. Another option to use is actually one of these. They come in different sizes. You don't have to use the metal ones here. They have really cheap plastic ones you can use. In fact, I do have some of those if I can find them. So I've got so much stuff. Where is it? Here we go. They have these plastic ones that you can use as well, and they come in different sizes. It was actually a 3-pack of 3 different sizes, and it was like $3. So they have different sizes of those. You can use canvas. I use canvas. A lot of the paper I use for stenciling as well as to spray on are these thin white glossy sheets, and they're by Xerox. And they are simply, I do believe I put this in a video before, they are just 18 by 12. I can get it there without the shine of the light. You get 250 sheets. They're like 18 by 12, and they're coated gloss digital printing paper by Xerox. You actually get these, they're It's 80 pound. You actually get these on Amazon. It was like $30 for the package, 250 sheets. They work. I don't think they're as great as poster board, but they do work. So that's an option for you guys who can't get poster board. Maybe in your country you're having a hard time finding them. Maybe you guys can find Xerox coated digital copying paper, so printing paper. So I figure most places have businesses, and businesses use printing paper, so that might be an option for you guys. I do use bags for texture, as well as newspaper and magazines. I have a lot of different little things. I'll save some of these other bags. They're a little thicker, so they make different textures. And these things for circles, like bubbles and things like that as well. Different. I probably saved more stuff than I should save. But different things like that, different lids, anything round things for weights, things like that. These are nice for small planets. Spray in the middle. Haven't used them quite yet, but good for that. Sponges. I've just got a big sponge from the store and rip off pieces of it. The better sponges are actually the sea sponge, and get them their natural sponge set, and they're like sea sponge, and they have a whole different texture and look to it, if you see that there. And those would be the better option, better choice for sponges, if that's something you want to go with. I do use these black sponge brushes. I got a set of different sizes as well. And you can get the sponges from hardware store, box stores, craft stores, things like that. Big sponges here you can get from a dollar store, craft store, box set stores. These round things, obviously you just keep some of the things you had. Different lids. That one's from a yogurt thing. This one is really good for spraying the shadow-like planets. If you're going to do like a big planet, you just want a little black one back in the back or something to go overlaying on planets. That's an easy way to overlay planets. I'll have to show you guys how to do that in a video. So, and I just cut that out with a hole cutting set. If you have a drill gun, just use a hole cutting set and cut that out. It comes with different sizes. You don't have to do that kind of stuff if you don't want to. I use acrylic paints on my spray paints sometimes, especially with brushes. So that's also a option. You don't have to. You have to use them carefully because they can mess up the paints. I use permanent markers. We do need our cutting knives, our X-Acto knives, and you can get different sets at the store. You can get a whole set of them. You can get separately, things like that. I use permanent markers. I was using paint pens, but they've started to disappear from most stores where I'm at and become the stores you can find them at. They went from being like $2 for one paint pen marker to about $9 for two of them, and a little 4-pack of markers actually cost about $25 now. So I was done with that. I just went with Sharpies. I've heard a lot of people use Sharpies, and actually they work pretty well. Just make sure your painting's dry before you use it. Otherwise they can get a little runny. Alright, so anyways, back over here. Excuse me again. So our poster board, hopefully I explained a lot of that enough. The acrylics over there, first off, the acrylics over there, you can get it just about any place you can get paint. The canvases, your craft stores, big box stores, things like that. And I think that's covered just about everything over there. Magazines you can get for free. You get them in the mail. You can sign up to get free magazines in the mail. You can find them at most shops, outside shops, and things like that for free. You just kind of open up a little magazine bin they got there, grab one, and it's free. I think that covers just about all of that there. Obviously, you can get Sharpie pens from just about any store. If you do feel like using paint pens, these are the paint pens I use. They're painters, and these are now starting to run like $5, $6 a pen, and it's just not worth it to me anymore. There's not as much ink in them as you would get in a permanent marker, it seems, and a lot of the times they don't even want to write. Like I got this one here. This is actually a Sharpie's painter's pen. Loud car. Sorry about that, guys. Hang on. Alright, this is actually a Sharpie's painter pen, and it's actually horrible. Horrible. It wrote once, and that was it. So I just stick with regular Sharpies themselves. But here's the pack. They're like painter's packs. You get a 5-pack, and they're like 25 bucks. So $5 a pen. I was done with that. I'm not doing that stuff no more. Pencils, paintbrushes. Now some people may suggest like certain paintbrushes. I haven't found a perfect paintbrush like material that's perfect for spray painting. I think that you just have to keep them clean and use them. I would try to get one that's not too soft, but you don't want it really rigid and everything. But they tend to get hard and crunchy if you don't clean them. And I actually have something to clean them with. I'll get to that in a moment. You want painter's tape if you like to do edgings and stuff like that on your things. I've got different pieces here. These came in like in one of these boxes when we got like a TV. They were in there holding around wires or something like that, and I thought, okay, well, you know what, they're a nice circle, so I'm gonna keep those. This here was from some toy thing kids have. It's got a thin enough edge that it works as a pretty wide moon. I got different paintbrushes, sizes, and all like that in there. I use scissors. Make sure you probably want some scissors. Another thing you can cut your poster board with, and some kind of scraper. I actually just made this scraper, but you can make a scraper by taking some hard plastic, something hard plastic like an old credit card, and cutting it into how wide you want it, and then making a 40, 45, somewhere between like a 35 and 45 degree angle on it, if that's what you want, for a nice edging for scraping. I like my metal one better than those plastic ones, but those plastic ones will work. They do work. As for cleaning paint brushes, I actually use this stuff here called Goof Off. It's a Pro Strength Graffiti Remover. Do not get this on your paintings. So if you're using it to spray inside a little cup, and I would use a little cup. I actually saved the bottom and used it in there, and fill it with that to run my brushes in and clean it. It will eat the paint off of those fairly quickly. You might have to dip it a couple of times and wipe it through. I always dip it, wipe it onto a towel, and then I'm going to need a new towel here. Look at this thing. This is crunchy. This is like this. I haven't seen a towel this crunchy since maybe I was like 13. I don't know what that's messed up. But anyways, guys, just grab the a towel when you dip the paintbrush in it, move it around, and wipe it off, dip it again, wipe it off until you get all the paint off of it. But this stuff here is Goof Off Graffiti Pro Strength Graffiti Remover. They have a liquid other than a spray that you can get. It doesn't say a graffiti remover, so I don't know if it works as well, but it probably does. Works the first time. I agree, it works the first time. I don't know what kind of effects this might actually get on a painting, but I know that it eats it quick, so I would avoid spraying it around your paintings while cleaning your brushes. Maybe do it off a good few feet away from it somewhere, and don't do it in front of a fan, because any of the little mist that comes off of it blows over onto your painting. You're gonna know. It's horrible. More lids, things like that. Of course, a radio system, you're gonna need that. You want music while you're painting, right? Here's some different painter's tape. Something that I think a lot of people should get into if you do stencil things. Anything where you need to hold down paper, use little nuts and bolts or whatnot. This little package of other than these two little things that are in it, but this little package, and I've lost some of them, actually was like $4, and it came with a bunch of different size little nuts. So, and that helps hold the papers down. And if you're doing stenciling, some of those little nuts can help. You don't have to have them. This is just an idea. If you do use little lids, sometimes they can be a pain to get off there. Take you a piece of tape and just put a piece of tape and make sure it stays at a little point right there, so you got like a little handle to be able to lift it up. This one's actually got smashed somewhere, so it's not even as round as it used to be. It's probably no good now, but that way you can get it off your painting, because some of these smaller ones you go to grab it and it slides and you've ruined your painting. So there's a nice little tip, kind of put some painter's tape right there on the top or something so you can grab it. Some of my bigger lids that I use so I can grab it without moving it, if you want, is I actually just put a little screw in it, a little bolt with a little nut on the other end so I can pick it up. And some of those I have that on there. You do want gloves if you're worried about getting it on your hands. It can be a pain to get off your hands. I use a pumice stone, a little pumice stone. I guess they're for your feet or something, whatever, but I got one for my hands, and with some water you can just lightly scrub and most of the paint comes off fairly easily. With some lukewarm water, some soap, pumice stone, it comes right off. But health-wise, if you're worried about it, or you don't want to have to deal with trying to get that paint off, because maybe you just wanted to paint something and you're about to go on a date and you don't want that paint everywhere. Who knows? So don't spray this on your hands. I did that. It actually started burning underneath the underneath my nails, right here underneath the like the cuticle over here or whatever, but underneath the nails it just started burning right in the corners real bad. So that stuff is hazardous, and definitely wear your mask while spraying this stuff, because if it does that to your fingernails, imagine what that's going to do to your lungs. You don't want that. So gloves are an option. I would get a box, just even if you're like, I'm never going to wear the gloves, get a box and have them there, because you never know. There may come an instance where you'll be like, man, I wish I had the gloves. They're there you go. The box isn't too much. Just grab a box. Box cutters work. They're not great for cutting out fine detail stencils, but they do work, and I do use them to cut my poster board in the sections that I want. These poster boards actually come in sizes of 22 inch by 28 inch, which is 55.9 centimeters by 71.1 centimeters, and so it's a big poster board, and I cut them into 11 by 14s, so I get 4 of them out of one poster board. So, and I get a poster boards from Walmart in the United States. I've had people tell me you can get poster boards from Dollar General. My Dollar Generals don't have them, but I'm guessing in more rural areas. I know they said in Tennessee, it was a person from Tennessee said they can get it from a Dollar General, so I'm guessing they're maybe in a more rural area where the Dollar General carries more stuff that you would have in a big box store, because there's no other stores around or something, but you can check that out. Another place in the United States is Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has these, and they actually run 50 cents for the whole 22 by 28 board. So that's 50 cents for 4 11 by 14s, and if you're not selling paintings and you just want to make a lot of paintings because you're enjoying videos or you're just practicing, you don't want to use a whole big paper and run through money, you can cut these in here. So 50 cents gets you 4 boards. That's money saving right there for your practice. So, and these are slightly glossy. They're not a high gloss. They're just like a medium low gloss, but the paint does not seep through. And a way to tell, let's see, can't see the thing. A way to tell if it has it is there you see that shine, this is what I mean when I tell people, and I tell people on a lot of boards and stuff, forums, I say, grab your poster board right at the store, hold it up, here's the other side, you don't have that shine the same, see, hold it up to the light, this is what I'm telling people. I think people hold it over their head and try to look through it, but there, bounce the light off of it, and you're looking for that glow, that reflection. Hopefully you guys can't see that. Here on this little camera I can kind of see it, so hopefully you guys see it better. See that shine, that reflection you're getting the light on. That is a gloss coating. That's what you want to do. That's what I mean by reflect the light off of the paper. This is a gloss paper. That's what you're looking for. That's what you want to do. So this side's gloss and this side is matte. You can see it doesn't have that same shine when you bounce the light off of it. So keep that in mind. Now when I first started, I couldn't find the gloss board. Mostly I didn't look very well, I guess, because they were right underneath my nose. The but I actually just use matte ones because they sell a lot of matte ones. So I did use matte ones, but it did seep through. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad as long as you didn't get too crazy with it, too much, and you let everything dry in between layers really well. It actually worked out really well. I made some of the first 10 paintings that I've sold actually were on plain matte papers, and they were really nice paintings. And I've got people who've come back now to buy more paintings from me since then, saying that paintings are looking better and better and better. And you know, with time they get that way. And that's because they went from going from matte paper to gloss paper. So obviously gloss paper is better, but you can use matte paper. Just be wary. If you that's all you can find, get one and give it a try. I mean, what other options do you have if you can't find one? But definitely look for gloss paper and look for that shine. Hold it up to the light. We have the light, and just look for that shine. So that's where I get my paper, guys. You can get them at like Michael's and Hobby Lobby and any of your crafting stores. So if you're in another country, check out your crafting stores for those. What came to mind on a suggestion I gave to somebody, and it came to mind recently, was a teacher supply store. So if your area has a teacher supply store, typically most of them you don't have to be a teacher to buy from the store. And if they say you do, sometimes, you know, to make more money, they're not going to tell you no or turn you away necessarily. Hopefully not. I mean, if it was my store, I would say, no, you can come on in and buy this stuff. I'm not worried about it. But they should sell poster board. Teachers use a lot of poster board, both matte and gloss. So that's an option to think about. Tape, as I told you about, the tape is a good idea if you want to make like these rings here, these borders. Now onto the paint. I use, well, that was all corroded over with paint. You can't see that one, now can you? Let's find one you can read. There we go. I use Rust-Oleum's American Accents. In other countries, I believe it's just called Rust-Oleum's Painter's Touch and stuff like that in there. This one's just 2X Ultra Cover. I think they just put it there to get you to buy it, whatnot. But it covers the same as Krylon. You can use the Krylon. Things to keep in mind: the difference between Rust-Oleum and Krylon, obviously, is the name. But it is Krylon is a lot thinner than Rust-Oleum. Rust-Oleum goes on a lot thicker, so keep that in mind when using it. If you're needing something to lay down, you want it thicker, use the Rust-Oleum. You can let it dry. You can put the Krylon over the Rust-Oleum. Just don't flood the Krylon on top of the Rust-Oleum. They're not the best of friends, but they do work together when they have to. So Krylon's great for misting effects and things you want light, but either one. I'd probably end up going with Krylon eventually once I run through a lot of these, but right now I'm a pretty adamant Rust-Oleum fan. I do like them. I think these dry really well, and again, the brand was American Accents, and that's here in America, obviously. If you're in another country, I do believe they're just called Painter's Touch, but they dry fairly quick compared to the enamels. You don't want the enamels. Let's see, I have one here. I do have one here. Let's find it. It should be a blue. 2X. Should be a blue. Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Well, shoot. Did I get rid of it? Did I use it all? Alright, guys, I'm guessing I've used it all. I don't see it, but it says enamel on it. You don't want the Stop Rust brand ones that say Stop Rust, like this is a primer. And oh, another thing you might like is a primer if you're using on wood, which you can use wood to paint on. Some wood, though, the paint seeps in really well, so a nice primer works. But because it's a primer, it's Stop Rust. You can use on automobiles and things like that, but this one works. You don't want colored regular spray paint that says Stop Rust. Those can get stringy and they take a little while to dry, typically, from what I've seen, so I would avoid those. Plus they cost another like $1 more, so I wish I had the enamel one. Just know that if it says blatantly on the front it says blatantly. I keep grabbing that one you guys can't read. If it says blatantly, you know, Rust-Oleum enamel, those take a long time to dry. They stay sticky for a long time, so if you're wanting to do stencils, I would definitely avoid those. But I would go with these. Plus they just have more color options in these over the enamel. But if you only have enamel in your area, that's all you can go with then, I guess. But do check things here in the United States, like your home improvement stores, Ace, Crowder Brothers, Lowe's, Home Depot. Lowe's has Rust-Oleum. They also have a brand, oh shoot, I can't remember that brand. I had one can. Valspar, that's it. Valspar. Lowe's is like, Valspar is primarily at Lowe's. Home Depot definitely do Rust-Oleum, and I think Home Depot has a bigger selection of Rust-Oleum than Walmart for colors, but you can get these at Walmart as well. Target holds just a couple of colors, at least here in my area, so there's that option as well. Color Place, these colored ones for Color Place work for mistings, for shadow effects and things. These colored ones, green, red, blue, things like that. But for some reason, the chemical makeup of the colored ones don't seem to be the same as, I can see the blue one there, don't seem to be the same as the black and white. The black and white actually work really well with Rust-Oleum, Krylon, and everything, but these colored ones, blue, green, red, and such, don't seem to work as well. They get kind of really thin, they crack and run, and then I start separating. So you can get some cool nebula effects using them with it, with Rust-Oleum, but if you're getting to the end of a nice painting and you grab the green because you want to do some green shadow misting or something or whatever, and you may just end up ruining your whole painting. So that's just a warning. Be careful with those if you use them. Color Place, by the way, is Walmart's brand. I do believe the white and the black ones are the best. That's what I use. I use the Walmart black ones more than I use the Rust-Oleum black ones, just because it dries super fast, and they're like $1 a can versus near $4 a can for the Rust-Oleum 350. So there's that, and then there's also another brand, Home Shades, that you can get at Walmart. I don't know if you can get it anywhere else, but do not buy Home Shades. Home Shades, oh, I still have them actually. Let's go check them out. Home Shades, okay, it says gloss finish and everything. These, if you use these, I suppose just only use these. Only use them together. Don't use them with Rust-Oleum. Don't use them with Krylon. They just, the things they do together are horrible. Definitely don't use those, so you've been warned. Metallic colors from Rust-Oleum can get a little fussy sometimes with the regular Rust-Oleums, but I think that just has to do with how hot or cold the can is, you know, if you're in a cold area. Because I find during like September, October, November, metallics work well with everything, and March and April they work pretty well with everything, but the rest of the year, anytime where it just drops too cold or gets too hot, it just they get a little fussy. But there's that option. Here's Krylon. I gotta grab the silver metallic by them because, you know, same price, 25% more and everything. And I think because it's thinner, it works really nice on a lot of projects versus the Rust-Oleum ones. But options, guys. Water, because you get thirsty while you're doing your paintings. But you can get them at just about any place that you can find spray paints. There is also, that one's definitely covered up real well, but that's actually a Montana brand one can. They are really, really nice. The caps are horrible. That actually was spraying up from underneath the cap somehow. I'm not sure what was happening, but they're not bad. But near $10 a can, it's ridiculous. So if you're just playing around and having fun with this, you don't need to spend $10 a can on it. But you can get some pretty awesome colors by them as well. Your face mask. This is one here. It's 3M. It's 3M, and it's for particulates, paint and dust and stuff. Let's see. You can use these if you want. They're just a little respirator mask, great for dust and things like that, paint, and it helps just to grab the particles and keep them from inhaling them. I would suggest against these. These are great if you're only doing it like one time. You're teaching somebody, let them wear it. It works for that. No harm done. But if you're doing this often, use something that's got like the dual side respirators, and always have some kind of fan, and of course gas cans, because you want to like catch everything on fire. The worst shop doubles as a garage, guys, so I don't have much space, so it works. That mask is actually, let's see, I have another one over here. I actually replaced my masks if you get real sick, things like throat problems or anything. If you get real sick, you want to replace the mask, but so you don't like re-catch it from the filters. But let's see, this is the bag that they come in. It's like $20, and it comes with the filters on it. You can buy replacement filters for like $5 for a set of 6. It just says 3M. Here's your number. Thought it had more information than that, guys. But they like to tell you disposable paint project respirator and everything, but you know, the paint doesn't go through the filters like that you need to replace it. You actually see if I can get this off with one hand. See, I have 2 separate filters, this one and that one, and the paint doesn't really get in that filter unless you're not changing this. But see, that back side's really clean, front side not so much. See, you're getting time close to changing these. When you start to see it start to come through the other side, just at a little bit, you know you've gone maybe a little too far, and there we are. So you can get replacements for it. So it's the disposable, I guess they mean this part here. So that's something else that I use. You can use. Here's a palette knife, and I actually cut the tip off of it here in the corner because it's all gunky now. But I didn't like how pointed it was. But you can use palette knives for your scraping things. I do believe other spray artists use that. I don't believe I missed anything here, guys. I do believe that's everything. If you're wanting to record videos, I just use a camera I got off of Amazon. It's just a little action camera. They cost between like $40 and $80. So just type in action camera. 4K action camera and 4K action cam, something like that, and you should find them. That they're little, they're about this big actually. They're just they're about that big, so they're about as wide as a paint lid, and real tiny, but work really well. And they come with accessories like this here, which this box is really nice because it keeps the paint off the lens and everything. So it's a waterproof case. You can't really hear you talking while it's in that case, but it does help keep the paint off the lens. Do not never use any of this stuff like remover on your camera or lenses and things like that. Of course, you guys should know that already. So that's just about everything. I think I've covered where you get the stuff. These are from Home Depot. This Home Depot brand, HDX. These I got from Home Depot. You can get them at Crowder Brothers, which is like Ace Hardware. Any of those hardware type places. I do believe I've covered just about everything. Oh, my clear gloss. Here we go. Okay, this is something that I know some people ask about. So I use the Rust-Oleum, and in other countries, again, American Accents is here, and other countries, Painter's Touch. I use it. It says gloss clear. I do not use the one that says crystal clear enamel. That one can be it's great when your painting's done and complete and you're about to sell it or something like that. Wood projects, I'll use maybe the enamel one. It's thicker, it works better for things that are going to be outside, but gloss clear is perfect and clear for putting a shine on your paintings that don't go outside. It takes less time to dry than the enamel ones, but I don't use the regular enamel one because sometimes, mostly during the summer, and I think it might just be the humidity, that when I put the enamel one on top of my paintings to coat them, I get a slight cracky, bubbly, sometimes a sandpapery feel look to it. And the cans are well shaken, the proper temperature, everything. So I don't know what goes on with that. So I prefer gloss clear over crystal clear enamel, which you'll find in the Rust-Oleum brand as well. I haven't tried the Krylon clear. I imagine it's the same, probably just a little thinner because the Krylons are thinner. So I think that's just about everything, guys. If you think I've missed something, please be sure to let me know, and I'll try to get it in another video the next time I update this video. But that's everything I've used, that I do use, where I get it. Stencils, you make your own stencils, you can print them offline. I made a video recently about how you can kind of do stencils. I do believe that's it. I do make my own canvas frames, actually, so a lot of the times, and I have a video on how you can do that and the stuff you need for that as well, so you can check that out. But that should be just about everything. Yes. Alright, guys, so I hope that helped answer a couple of questions and you found it useful. Thank you for watching the video. I know it's another long video, but there's a lot to cover. So enjoy. If I've missed something, again, put it in the comments down below. Ask. I will do my best to help you out. I want you guys to have fun with your spray paint art and do it safely and as cost effectively as possible. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and smash the like button for me. Share this video with any of your friends that might be interested in doing any of this artwork. This will definitely help them out. Put it on your page to help other people out. And always, guys, remember, keep creating.